Crazy Will here today. Today we're going to be talking about a little piece of software called Homebridge. And what it's going to do is make the accessories that are not HomeKit enabled become HomeKit enabled on a Raspberry Pi. Stay tuned! Hey, Crazy Will here today, and today we're going to be talking about a little piece of software called Homebridge. Now, if you're familiar with a lot of the videos and you've been keeping up with my videos, which I had a lot of them that was leading up to this video, that's why if people have questions, like, you can go back through the videos and see what I did. Basically, what I did was I set up videos saying what HomeKit is, which is an app for your phone, and you can go back and take a look at that. That's on Apple phones. What a Raspberry Pi is, so that way you can take a look at that and it'll tell you what a Raspberry Pi is. How to set up a Raspberry Pi with the Raspbian operating system, which I have that video as well, and how to SSH into it and connect to Wi-Fi on it. So that way you'll be able to follow along with this tutorial. I did it that way because I hate when I was getting into this that people wouldn't show you the basic stuff first and just get right into working with the programs. Having those videos will help you move forward with getting up to this point. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to jump on the computer over there and I'm going to show you how to make this Raspberry Pi loaded up with Homebridge. And what Homebridge is going to do is it's actually going to be a bridge, so that way you can connect things that aren't HomeKit enabled, which with Apple it's a complicated process, work with this device, so that way it will bridge it. And basically what I'm showing you today is I have a bunch of TP-Link light switches, light bulbs, regular light switches that are actually built into the wall, and I have a Harmony hub. And I'm going to show you today how to connect all those together. Use it with HomeKit right on your phone. Instead of saying Alexa, you can actually say, hey Siri. For me, the reason why I wanted to do this was redundancy, so you have the best of both worlds. Okay, so we're going to run over to the computer. I'm going to plug this up. Basically, once you set it up, all you need to do really is plug this up. It has built-in Wi-Fi and you can SSH into it. And that's what I'm going to show you on the computer now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a list of notes that as I'm doing this, there's a lot of steps. As I'm doing this, I'm going to put the notes so that way you can kind of follow along with it. And what I'm going to do is right down at the bottom there, I will have all the notes for you so that way you can do this yourself. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to SSH into the Pi. And this would be your Pi's IP address. If you need to know how to do this, reference my video on SSH into a Pi. Basically what we're doing is we're connecting into the Pi via our computer, and that's why you see me on my Mac instead of actually doing it on the computer. So we're going to SSH into it, and this is just the most common way that most people do it. The password is RASPBERRY. That's the default password, Raspbian. Okay, and it logged us in, so now we're at the Pi. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to sudo apt-get update, and we're going to let that run its course. And the reason why we're doing this, it's like updating your computer. What we're doing is we're going to the web, we're grabbing updates, and then we're gonna sudo upgrade after we get all the packages. Now we're gonna upgrade it and paste that, and it's probably going to ask us, well, if it ever stops, you just need to hit Y for yes. And that usually just takes a little bit of time. Okay, so now the update is complete. Everything done, and we're back to the Pi symbol. And the next thing we're going to do, without further ado, is we're going to put in Homebridge. Now, you can go to the website and download Homebridge and go through all this complicated mess. It is a really good website to learn how to do some of this stuff, learn how to install everything, Node.js and all that other stuff. But I'm going to give you guys a super easy way to do it, and I found this on the web, and it is this right here. We're going to copy and we're going to paste this in, and it is going to do all the work for you. It will go and find everything and install Homebridge, and we don't have to do anything else. So I'm going to let this load, and then I'm going to come back to you guys after it's done loading, so you're not watching this. Now to test it, you can see it's in and out. To test to see if it's going to work, all we're going to do is to run Homebridge, is actually type in Homebridge. So I'm just going to copy and paste, and this is how I work. Instead of filling everything out and boring you with me typing, you'll type in Homebridge, and it takes a couple seconds. Okay, so Now the setup is complete. Okay, so now that's done. It gives you this QR code and it gives you your Apple ID code, which I'm going to show you. You can change stuff, but you know, we'll get into other tutorials like that later on. But this is running Homebridge now. All right, so now we're going to quit Homebridge because we have no plugins installed and we won't be able to see any of the devices. So we're going to hit Control-C. And that's going to stop us out of Homebridge and bring us back to the Pi. All right, so now we're ready to install some plugins. And if you want to find some plugins, this website is npm, and you just type in Homebridge plugins, and as you can see, you get a whole bunch of different types of plugins. And I have some already that I would like to show you. These are the plugins that I got working, and this is TP-Link Home. And I've recommended TP-Link. Plugs, switches, and light bulbs have been serving me well for a very long time now. And we're going to run this code. And we're going to copy. And we're going to install this plugin. So we'll go ahead and put that right there. Alright, so TP-Link installed. And that's the plugin that we installed. And I'm going to get to on how to use that, but we installed that plugin. And another plugin that I got working was Homebridge for harmonyhub, and I'll leave you a link to that video. I actually did a review on that, and it's really interesting how that works. But this is the harmonyhub, and this is the plugin for it as well. So we're going to copy, and we're going to paste that one in there too. So, you know, sudo npm install blah blah blah, whatever. We just want it to work. And I want to see if this one's going to give me a hard time, because there is a way around it. If it doesn't take for some reason, you have to put in root. See, now we got an error. That's why I wanted to show you this. Okay, so this happens with some plugins from time to time. It gives an error, and that means it didn't install it, and that can be really, really annoying. You can't complete this action without being root. There are going to be times where you have to log in as root in order to get one of these plugins to work. The harmonyhub has been the pain in the butt, and it took me a while to actually figure this out. But what you need to do is make a login for the root. So we're going to do a login. So sudo password root. So that's why we're going to make a login for that. Just for argument's sake, we're going to make it the same as the Pi, the user for Pi. So we're going to put RASPBERRY. If this really was a Pi you were going to use, and we're going to type it in again on a regular basis, I would not make this your password. I would think of something that you'll remember and that is a little more complex, so somebody can't, you know, get into your Pi. And then we're going to just type in SU. And now it's going to ask for the password, and it's going to be RASPBERRY, because that's what I wanted it to be. So now we are in the root home directory of Pi. I don't know why I put you there, but I'm going to go to this. And now if we go back up here and we type in sudo, you know, np install homebridge-harmonyhub, if we put that link in now, it should automatically install. So let's see what she does now that we're at the root folder. Okay, so now the plugins are done. I put the two plugins that I got working, and again, if you want to look up plugins, I showed you the website. You can go right to that website and you could type in any smart device that you have. One, just to show you really quick, that I like to do on a regular basis, is type in, and I've been waiting for this plugin for quite some time. It's a work in progress, and it's Bond Home. And if you haven't seen my video about Bond, I'm going to put the link up at the top here. He's working on this, whoever this gentleman is, and I cannot wait for him to get that up and running so I can actually have that on my HomeKit. Alright, so the plugins are all done. If you want to log out, go back to the Raspberry Pi. It's actually sudo pi. You don't have to. I just did that. I just put it sudo pi and it logged me back in as just the Pi user, not the root user. So now we got all of our plugins that I know that work. So I got my harmonyhub, I got my TP-Link plugins, Now, if I go ahead and launch Homebridge, it is not going to do anything. The next thing we have to do is do a configuration file. Now, if you go to the website, it will normally a plugin, I showed you the Bond, which was a bad example, but normally a plugin will tell you how to install it, and they always tell you to install Homebridge, which you already did, so you don't need to do that step. Usually you just need to do this step right here. And they forget to mention sudo because super user. So that's what you normally have to do. So minimal configuration, this is what we want to do. We want to do the .configuration file, and this is what we have to add into the configuration file. And it shows you, gives you examples. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to build, we're going to cd into the Homebridge folder. We went into cd.homebridge, we went into the folder, and now we're going to create a config file. And as you can see, yours will be blank. Mine is not. This is the code that you need to put in. Unfortunately, this is very sensitive. You can't use regular notepad, or you can't use, a regular text document. You actually have to use a certain text program that doesn't leave information in the background. So instead of getting into what software you should download and all this other stuff, I'm going to recommend a website. And this website is awesome. JSON-initialate.com. This website is awesome because you can take your code, put it in here, and verify that it works, and it'll say valid. Now, if you change something and it wasn't valid, it comes up with errors. So now it's valid. So I just want to go through the code real quick. This is the code that you need to use. You can name it whatever you want. I put Homebridge 8 because I already have a Homebridge, and it's actually my 8th version. I went through a lot of trial and error with this. Username, I don't think that matters. This code you can change. My code is actually different from my house. Port, I use the port that it says when you start Homebridge. At the very bottom, it'll say what port it is, but I believe you could change that too. I'm not positive, but that's the port I was using. And then it goes into accessories and platforms. So accessories, if you look at the information, it gives you, it'll be platforms. That's what I used. And then some of them have accessories, but I've only used platforms so far. So this is a platform, and then you put in the code like so. And then to add the harmony, you put in the code like so. That's another platform. Like if you went to their website, it would give you the platform and give you the information. I gave you the website, so you can definitely take a look at that. But that's how this code would be written. And it is very highly sensitive on how you do this. So this setup should work fine for you, and that is for the TP-Link and the Harmony Hub. Copy and paste it out of this website after you wrote it, and paste it in here. And once you paste it in here, so you would hit Control X, it's going to ask you if you want to save any modifications. We're going to hit yes, and then you hit enter. And now you're back in. And now what we're going to do is we're going to hit CD, and it's going to take us back to the home area. And we're just going to, because I'm lazy, I'm just going to copy and paste this right here. And that should launch Homebridge. And I will apologize because I am going to block out some of the information because it's giving you information on my devices. So I am going to block out a lot of this. I don't need you guys knowing my device names and locations and stuff like that. But I'll assure you that it works, and I'm going to show you after I'm done loading this. And it's loading everything. And there you go. I mean, that's it. Now you're good to go. Right now in 2018, this is highly valid, and it is working in my household. I'm going to show you that it works right now. All right, so we're at the point where you need your phone. I have Homebridge about to start up and running, and what you're going to do is you're going to take your iPhone or your tablet, whichever one you want, and we're going to launch HomeKit. And all we're going to do is right here, you're going to hit plus right at the top here. Boom. And it's going to say add accessory. Click on add accessory. That simple. Now it's going to open up a camera. Now you could try and scan it right on the screen, which I will show you. You'll have a barcode and a screen. You'll see it in the video. What I do is usually I do not have a code to scan, and you just click on that. You click on enter code, and you just enter the code that it says there. So my code is 031, and you can change this code, 031-45154. Okay, and there it is, guys. It's right there. It says, hey, that's your Homebridge. And you click on it and you say, add accessory. And now it's gonna say it's an uncertified accessory. Add anyway. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna add all your devices. And it takes a little bit, as you can see. See? Added. And I like to leave it in default room so that way you can look at it later. You hit next. If this comes up, guys, it is saying that it doesn't like the name. I don't know why it's adding a name on the end. Just rename it. Take off the CDA8. I don't know why it's adding that. It must be a new way of doing it. I don't know why it's doing that, but it's adding a little end on it. I'm just gonna leave it as Homebridge 8 and hit done, and then just hit next. And then it'll give you, it start listing up accessories. Bedroom air conditioner. Okay, next. All right, so just to show you guys that this works, these are all the accessories. Okay, so just to show you for demonstration purposes, it registers that the office lights are on. So what I'm going to show you now is if I click on that, the lights go off in my office. If I click on it again, they turn back on. So it's pretty fast, especially, you know, if you want to use a 0, you can use a 0. It's pretty fast. I mean, I actually have this running on a Raspberry Pi 1, but I just wanted to show you how easy that this really works and how easy if you take the time out. So that's how you set up Homebridge. This took me a long time to mess around with and get it working just right. And I really hope, I took a lot of time out for this tutorial, so I really hope it helps you guys out and kind of fills in a lot of blanks that you might have. Things to look out for. If you close the terminal window, if you're SSH into it from a Mac or PC and you close the terminal window, it does stop Homebridge. So you would have to activate it actually on the Pi. So you can VNC into it, and if I'm getting that name wrong, which I normally do, I'm going to put the correction right down here. And you know me, if you've been watching the show, I do not do well with names. Yes, if you close out of it, I'm going to show you another tutorial called Screen. I'm going to do a quick tip on that, and that's going to be coming later on in the next few weeks, and it'll show you how to get into terminal, activate Homebridge, and then get out of it. So I'll have that coming soon. Look out for that video. Make sure you like and subscribe. That'll help you. And for the ones that are liking and subscribing, I really, truly appreciate you guys doing that. I just recently hit the 500 subscriber mark, and I am truly flattered. And the comments that you guys have been leaving me, the really nice comments that really, I can't put it into words when you guys write me how I truly feel, and I'm not a very good writer if you've noticed. I really truly appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words. I mean, you guys, you'll never know how much when you write something nice to me, how much it means to me. I always write, thanks man, means a lot. It really does. Like when I see someone say, hey, thanks for that tutorial, it helped me out, or hey, you know, your videos are great. It means the world to me, man. Like it's like all this hard work is really paying off. And I didn't realize, being a YouTuber, how much work it was, and I have a lot more respect for other people that put together videos that are way better than mine, that I've been watching for the years, and they're just awesome. So I'm rambling, I'm gonna stop. Make sure you like and subscribe, and remember, you can do anything, and I mean anything, that you put your mind to. Later, guys. You thought I was a picture, didn't you? Make sure you like and subscribe. Do me a favor already.